Oh, look at that. Give these folks a round of applause that are brave enough to come up here and do this. I think we got exactly the right number. Excellent. Okay, so it looks to be, we have, the audience unfortunately is a bit skewed. It seems to me there are far more females in the group than there are males, and it's reflected by the number of people that we have up here that are male and female. Typically, if you look at the YouTube, you'll see that I always try to get the same number of guys as women. Some people will say, are women better subjects than men? No, there's no difference that's ever been perceived in hypnotic suggestibility between men and women, but in this particular group, we have a lot more women. Have any of you up here ever been hypnotized before? Ever? Good. Any questions before we begin? Well, let me show you a couple things here. First of all, your name, madam, is? Ella. And are you hypnotized right now, Ella?
I don't think so.
Okay, that's fine. That's okay. You feel like you're wide awake?
Not really.
Okay, well, you see that exit sign back there? See it? Yeah. Take a look at that exit sign. Take a nice deep breath. Breathe in deeply. Beautiful. Sleep way down deep. All that deep sleep. Sleep way down deep. Loosen. Keep. Deeper and deeper, more and more relaxed, deeper and deeper. Sir, your first name? Tristan. Will you help me? You're one of the people I couldn't get to, right? Okay, so you and I did not touch your shoulder or anything like that, correct? Now, you are squeezing your legs together and you got your hands folded together. You look like you're a little bit nervous about this. Are you nervous about it? Kind of. What's your first name, ma'am? Jaden, would you pick an exit sign back there and just look at it? I need your arm, just a little bit farther back there. Thank you. Take a nice deep breath. Sleep all the way down. Deep sleep, all the way. Deep sleep, loosen limb. Sleep way down deep, all the way. Loosen. Deep and deep, more and more relaxed. Yeah, it gets worse. Sleep all the way. Deeper, more and more relaxed, deeper and deeper. Loose limp. Sleep all the way down. Deep asleep, loose limp, all the way down, deeper and madam, first name? Are you hypnotized right now? No. Wide awake?
Not particularly.
Sleep. Ooh, I guess not. Sleep all the way deep. Sleep. Loosen all the way down, deeper and deeper. All right, so that leaves you two guys, right? Are you two buddies? Do you two know each other? Okay, I'm going to probably end up separating you. I'll tell you why. Buddies tend to work against each other. They tend to play, but we'll do that in a few minutes. Would you each pick a spot on the exit sign? Just keep your eyes on that spot. Excellent. Please don't take your eyes off the spot. For the rest of you, I'm going to take you deeper. I know you're relaxed now. I know you can feel your legs relaxed. I know you feel your body getting more and more relaxed. I am just going to start slowly counting in a moment, backwards from 5 down to 1. I want you to use those numbers. With each number I count, I want you to imagine that you can feel yourself going deeper into this wonderful relaxation. Feel the tension draining out of your body. Feel your body getting more and more and more relaxed, so relaxed that by the time I reach the number 1, every single muscle from the top of your head to the tips of your toes is completely, fully, and totally relaxed. And let's begin this process with a nice deep breath. Would you take a nice deep breath, breathe in deeply? And as you exhale, 5, let yourself start going deeper. Deeper, deeper, deeper. Feel your legs go limp. Feel your arms loosening, relaxing. You're concentrating beautifully. Take another nice deep breath, breathe in deeply. 4. Now feel the tension in your shoulders drop away. Feel it just drop away. Deeper, 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 deeper. Another nice deep breath, breathing deeply. 3, all the way down, deep asleep. Loosen limp, loosen limp, loosen limp, loosen limp. All the muscles in your face and jaws. Feel the tension draining out of the muscles in your arms and hands. All the muscles in your head and shoulders deeper and deeper. More and more relaxed. Deeper and deeper. I'm going to move you, ma'am, just a little bit, just like that, because he's going to come right there. More and more relaxed. 2, take another deep breath, sleep, deep sleep, deep sleep. Oh, and deeper and deeper. More and more relaxed. All the muscles in your face and jaws, all the muscles in your head and scalp. When I reach the number 1 now, just let it all go and drop all the way down into a totally deep, 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 deep relaxation. 1. Drop down now, all the way down, deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper. Sleep, sleep, more and more relaxed, sleep, sleep, more, deeper and deeper, more and more relaxed. Keep going deeper with each breath now until I ask you to awaken. Let's see what we've done. I've filtered through the group, looking for better than average subjects, so you're getting more dramatic response. You may recall that one of the promises I made was that if you do this, you're probably going to be more relaxed than you've been in a long time. I'm asking them to visualize tension draining out of their body. out of your arms, out of your legs, out of your shoulders. The net result of that is a profound state of relaxation. When you see these people afterwards, I mean, they're really relaxed. You can see that they are really and totally relaxed. You'll get this complete body relaxation. Now, you may not have need for this now. However, as you age, as you have mortgages and car payments and kids and all kinds of fun stuff, you'll find that your level of stress tends to compound and aggregate, and at some point, you might want to learn how to relax. Many people seek out self-hypnosis as a way of letting go of the tension. A lot of people, when I work with corporate world, will say, that's enough for me. I mean, if you could just teach me how to do that, I'm happy. Because I walk around, I grit my teeth, I'm not happy, I can't get to sleep at night, I'm biting my fingernails. They're manifesting all kinds of signs of stress. You may not be experiencing that as much as you may sometime in the future, but this is a very common use for it. And the reason they're relaxed is because in their mind, they're physically relaxing as well as mentally relaxing. So this is relaxation. What's the opposite of relaxation? Tension, stress. So if by visualizing the body being very relaxed, they become super relaxed, if I changed or altered the visualization, what would the altered response be? What's the opposite? Stiff and rigid. So instead of visualizing their body loose and limp, I ask them to visualize it stiff and rigid. You should get a different response, right? Let's see what kind of response we get. In a moment, I'm going to extend your arm. As I extend your arm, I want you to feel that arm become stiff and rigid like a bar of steel. As I extend your arm, rigid like a steel bar welded to your shoulder. Stiff and rigid like a bar of steel. Concentrate. Feel it. Stiff and rigid steel bar welded to your shoulder. Excellent. Stiff and rigid. Concentrate. Rigid, stiff like a steel bar. Stiff, rigid like a bar of steel welded to your shoulder. Feel it. Stiff and rigid and stiff. Concentrate. Rigid, stiff, stiff like a bar of steel. Concentrating. Rigid and stiff like a bar of steel welded to your shoulder. Stiff and rigid. Concentrate now. Stiff and rigid like a steel bar. Bar of steel welded to your shoulder. Concentrate. Stiff and rigid like a steel bar. Stiff, rigid. More stiff, more rigid. In a moment, I'm going to begin slowly counting from 3 to 1. With each number, the arm will get more stiff and more rigid and stiff, so stiff and rigid, you'll find when I reach the number 1 that you cannot lower it. You cannot bend it. It's as stiff as a bar of steel until you hear me clap my hands. Feel this happening now. 3, the arm gets rigid, more stiff. 2, it's like a steel bar welded to your shoulder. 1, it's so rigid and stiff now, even as you try, you can't lower the arm. In fact, the harder you try, the more rigid and stiff it becomes, and I want you to try. I want you to feel it's important to lower that arm, but you'll discover it just won't bend, it just won't lower. The harder you try, the more difficult it becomes. Even as you feel me pressing on the arm, it's as stiff as a bar of steel. Stiff and rigid like a steel bar. Even as you feel me, it's rigid and stiff. Stiff and rigid, it just won't go down, and you can try as hard as you like, but it remains like a bar of steel. Would you help me for a second, sir? I need your help. First name is? Carter? Carter. Step into my office. Would you take this gentleman's arm, press on it, and report to the group what it feels like in terms of degree of rigidity, just a general stiffness? Not going anywhere. Well, press on this gentleman's arm and give it a good shot. Good. Report to the group what that feels like.
It feels like he's holding it out, resisting against movement.
Okay, can you make your arm that stiff? Let me know when you're ready. Ready?
Yep.
Squeak, try again. Ready? Squeak, try again. Not as easy as it looks, is it? In other words, when you bend this guy's arm will stay rigid. I got to find you a really good one here. Some of these people's arms they're like cement. Here, feel this young lady's arm. What you get, or what you tend to get, is more strength. And it's not that they're stronger, it's that they're not distracted. They're putting 100% of their attention on that image of their arm like a steel bar, so it begins to behave like a steel bar. That's the first thing you notice. Press on this, that one's fine. You notice it's, for most people, a much more profound state of rigidity because they're not distracted. Second thing you notice is it's more rigid than the average person can do it. You ask a person to make their arm rigid, here's what most people do. You couldn't see it because he was standing behind people, but bring people forward and say, make your arms stiff, and they set their feet, they take a breath, they put their shoulders back. It's like they get their whole body involved. Notice that's not what happened here. The only part of the body that got involved was the part they're concentrating on. It's a real focused type of attention. And the third difference is how long they can hang it out there without any discomfort. We're pushing at least 4 or 5 minutes, probably longer than that right now. Go home tonight, put your arm in a weird position like that, try to hang it out there for 90 seconds, see what it begins to feel like. We don't have the time to do it, but they could hang that arm out there for 30 or more minutes with little or no discomfort, simply because in their mind they see it as a bar of steel, so it's beginning to act like a bar of steel. This is how changing an image of something, viewing math or physics or science in a different way, can make you respond to it in a different way if you currently have trouble with it. Thanks for coming up, Carter. I appreciate it. In a moment, I clap my hands, your arms drop down, fall deeper to sleep. 3, 2, 1, sleep. All the way down. Sleep, 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 deep, 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 all the way down. 5, 4, 3, 2. Round of applause for these guys. They are outstanding. Excellent. Now, we don't want to hurt them. We certainly don't want them in weird positions for long. So, at the count of 5, everybody eyes wide open, sitting up straight in the chair, but still responding to the sound of my voice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eyes wide open, sitting up straight in the chair. Round of applause again. They can actually hear. Let me give you a hand here, madam. There you go. You are lovely. Perfect. Madam, you're okay? All right. I need a skeptic. I need someone up here who thinks they're not hypnotized. How about you, sir? I didn't really get a chance to goof around with you at all. Do you think you're hypnotized?
No, yeah.
Real definitive answer there, Slick. Yes or no? Do you think?
Yes.
Okay. You, do you think you're hypnotized?
Not anymore.
So you're wide awake right now, right?
I think so.
Beautiful. Sleep all the way down. 5, 4, 3, 5, 4, 3. There we go. How about you?
I'm wide awake.
Wide awake? And you're not in hypnosis right now? Beautiful. Can I see your finger for just a second? What? Like that. Watch. Make a fist and stick one finger out. Beep. Give me another finger. Ooh. How are you? I'm good. Yeah, okay. We're going to assume you're there. How about you, madam?
I think I'm okay.
Good. You think you're hypnotized?
Not really.
Okay. Sleep way down deep. All the way down. Sleep way down deep. All the way down. Deeper than before. Oh, okay. Hold on. You don't have to think you're hypnotized. Many, many people who are excellent hypnotic subjects will sit there and look straight at you. I am not hypnotized. This definitely isn't working. It's definitely not going to work. How about you? Do you think you're hypnotized? If you had to guess, if you had to put a thumbs up or thumbs down, what would you think? Maybe. Okay, well, then let's do this. Remember I had you look at that exit sign before? Would you look at that sign and try to stay awake? Now, you take as long as you need and do whatever you want. I mean, you want to bite your tongue or grab your seat or do whatever you want. Try to stay awake as hard as you possibly can and let me know when you're really, really trying. Really? Good. Sleep way down deep. So she's not there. And sleep all the way down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How about you? Are you hypnotized? Probably. How about you? Tired. But are you hypnotized? Is this what you thought it would feel like to be hypnotized? That's a fair statement. Sleep way down deep. Deeper and deeper, more. And then it was you and me. I've given you enough time to think about this, right? You've seen everybody else. I'll bet a part of you was sitting there saying, nah, that's not going to happen to me. Yeah, okay, so good. So take as long as you need, do whatever you need to do, but I really sincerely want you to try not to be hypnotized. And you take as long as you want, but you tell me when you're really, really trying, okay? Beautiful. Sleep. Ooh. Sleep all the way down. Nope, that doesn't work. Everybody, eyes wide open, the count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 5. Oh, sit up straight in the chair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gotcha. Okay, that didn't work out so well, so I'll tell you what. Put some money to it. I speak to sales groups a lot, and when I'm working with salespeople, I always ask a question. What do you think motivates people? What do you think salespeople yell out?
Money.
Money. So I say, well, I think money has some motivating qualities, but it's probably not nearly as motivating as you've been led to believe. So I'm going to try to motivate you, okay? Does money motivate you?
Yeah, good enough.
Okay. I'll give you $20 if you can stay awake for 10 seconds. Here's the deal. You pick a spot, look at it. You take as long as you need to get your mind set. When you want the 20-second clock to start, just nod your head, and I have 20 seconds. If you can stay awake for 20 seconds, I'll give you a $20 bill. Fair enough? Just let me know when you want the clock to start. Sleep. Wait a minute. wide awake. Whoa, that didn't work out. So, well, I'll tell you what, that didn't work. I'm going to put that there. This is your potential winnings. Fair enough? Bing. All right, I'll make it 60. Fair enough? Okay, $60 if you can stay awake for 10 seconds. Look at the money, feel it, touch it, clutch it to your bosom, do whatever you want. But when you're ready, let me know for the 20 seconds. Doesn't work? Hey, I'll just make you take it out, that's all. All right, so take as long as you need, and you tell me when you're really, really trying to stay awake. Go ahead, take as long as you want. Got it? Sleep, wait, sleep. Jewel. You made it for 5 seconds that time, Slick. That's a record. It doesn't matter. If you look at some of my YouTube tapes, go to the one at the Grand Ole Opry. I used to risk $2,000 in $100 bills. I'd stand there with 20 $100 bills. I'll give you 100, I'll give you 200, I'll give you 1,000, I'll give you 2,000. I never lost the money. It could have been 20,000. Now why? What's going on here? What's going on here is visualization. In his mind, he's responding to certain suggestions. He's been tuned in to respond to certain suggestions, so he does. One part of him, that internal part, is telling him to respond. The other part, clearly, was saying, I want the $60. He had sort of a battle between that conscious mind and that inner part of him. There was a battle going on. Which part did you just see win? So, if you're an overeater and you say, I'm not going to eat the second piece of cake, it'll make me feel guilty, I don't want it, I don't need it, but the inner part of you says, you always eat 2 pieces of cake. Who's going to win that battle? One part of you says, I got to take physics next year. Oh, that scares me. I don't know anything about physics. I think I hate it. I don't like it. I'm going to do terrible in it. As opposed to another part that says, I would love to ace this because I want my GPA to stay where it's at and not sink down because I want to go to a great school. One part wants to do great. That inner part is saying you're going to do terrible at it. What's probably going to happen if you don't change the inner part? People tend to be more effective when that inner voice is in line with the outer voice. When your internal voice is saying, I need to ace this course, and externally you're saying, I want to ace it because I want to get into a better school or have a higher GPA. These little battles are going to take place the entire sum of your life. And the sooner you learn how to use it and how to work with it, the better off you are likely to be as a performer in any business or any job that you take. Any question? I'm going to do one more little kind of standard thing. I do it almost all, and then we're going to do some more exotic things. The standard thing is basically just to demonstrate emotion and how emotion can be affected by visualization. Sorry about that. How visualization can affect your emotion. Lots of ways I can demonstrate this. I am choosing to demonstrate this in a humorous way. It's going to be funny, but I'll explain why I did it afterwards and how it relates possibly to things in your life. I'm going to ask all of you to take a nice deep breath now. Breathe in deeply. Oh, I forgot about that. I'm going to ask you all, take a nice deep breath, breathe in deeply, all the way, deeper, 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 more and more relaxed. Excellent. When I touch your shoulder, laugh, 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 funny, laugh, funny, funniest thing, funny, 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 laugh, 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 funniest thing in the whole wide world. Funny, 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 laugh, 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 funniest thing in the whole wide world. It just keeps getting funnier and funnier, and the harder you laugh, the better you feel. The harder you laugh, the better. 10 times funnier, 10 times funnier. You just keep laughing harder and harder. It just keeps getting funnier, funnier and funnier, more and more hilarious. In a moment when I stamp my foot, it instantly becomes 10 times funnier. Now, 10 times funnier than it was before. It's hilarious. It is without a doubt the funniest thing you've ever heard in your life. Sleep! Okay, I want you to notice a couple of things here. Couple of things here. Only the person whose shoulder I'm touching, wide awake, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, share. Beautiful. Couple of things. First of all, when you look at these folks, that is not fake laughter. That's not, oh, ha, ha, ha. That's guttural from inside. That's an internal laugh. You are able to turn an emotion on by doing that. That impresses me. The ability to turn it off impresses me more. None of those folks had any clue when I was going to say sleep, and they shut it down like a light switch. That's not easy to do. If you ever laugh really hard and try to stop, it's not a simple thing to do. Let me show it to you again. Laugh. 10 times funnier. 100 times funnier. Sleep. That is not easy to do. give them a round of applause. These guys really are amazing, aren't they? But it illustrates a very high degree of emotional control. Now, as I said, I was going to demonstrate it in a humorous way. You can do this in things that are not necessarily humorous. The number one fear of people in corporate America is speaking in front of groups, believe it or not. They can overcome that by increasing their desire to communicate with people, to do a good job, to move forward in their business, and decrease any of the symptoms like the nervousness or the perspiration of the fear. You can increase certain feelings. You can decrease certain feelings. You can increase certain feelings of positive. You can decrease the fears. You have a bit more control over your emotions than you may have been led to believe, and that was simply a demonstration of it. So that's kind of the standard routine that I do, and explaining what I'm going to do today, I have a little treat for you. I want to show you some of the more exotic aspects of this particular state. But first thing I got to do is wake these folks up. Count of 5, eyes wide open, still responding to the sound of my voice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, wide awake. Wake. Round of applause they can really hear if you don't mind. Excellent. I have planned a couple of things that are a little bit out of the ordinary for you today, and I would ask, you have long sleeves, would you mind volunteering for this little test? Okay, your first name again, ma'am? Natalie, would you help me? We're going to go sit over here, and I'll tell you what we're going to do, and if you don't want to do this, let me know, but I'll tell you what the experiment is, and if you don't mind, have a seat right there. In a moment, would you wrap your arm up, wrap the sleeve up of your arm so that your arm is exposed, and then I am going to get my tablet out of the way, and then I'm going to put the pail closer. Now, what I want you to do, Natalie, is just, in a moment, I'm going to have you put your arm in that pail. Do you have any problem with doing that at all? Good. Sleep. Oh, deep sleep. Stuck in a chair. Sleep deeply. So, you can alter emotions. You can have a person visualize their arm as stiff and rigid like a bar of steel. It acts like a bar of steel. The number one use of hypnosis therapeutically turns out to be pain control. You can actually anesthetize. Remember I said back in the 1840s when it was discovered it was used as a form of pain control? I'm going to have Natalie, if she'd be kind enough, to demonstrate this for me. You may not have seen this, but this is ice water. I bought a bag of ice from 7-Eleven. It's been sitting in there. Ice water is 0 degrees, right? Very, very darn close to it. Centigrade. So, in a moment, I'm going to lift your arm, Natalie. I'm going to just put your arm in a pail of warm water. It's going to be as warm as bath water. It's going to feel very, very comfortable. You're going to enjoy the feeling. 3, 2, 1. I'm going to lift your left arm and just put it right in there, and it'll be just like bath water. Push it all the way down, and let me know how it feels. How does that feel, Natalie? Is it okay? Feels nice and warm, doesn't it? Good. It's good. I need a skeptic. I need someone, preferably a big, hunky guy, if there is such a thing in this room. Someone who thinks they can, withstand pain, and they're very... Come on, want to come up? Come on. My idea of a nice, big, hunky guy. Okay, here we go. What we're going to do, sir, because of the kind of limitations of this table, you're going to have to stretch a little bit to do this. But when you're ready, your first name is?
Declan.
I'm sorry.
Declan,
thank you. Declan, would you take your arm, yours happens to be the right arm, but would you put your arm in the pail of water and keep your arm in there as deep as you can get it, and tell me what that feels like. Now, cold water is not comfortable. It's not going to damage your blood cells. It may if you keep it in there for an extended period of time. It's not going to damage blood cells or anything, but it's going to get really uncomfortable. She, in her mind, feels that pail of water as a warm pail of water. He's sticking his hand in ice water. Who do you think is going to be able to keep their arm in there more? The young lady or Mr. Hunk? It'll be, let's see what happens. You don't mind? You let me know if it gets painful or uncomfortable, and I'll let you get out. So that's going to be the experiment. And I'll tell you right now, a person who's hypnotized will leave their hand in there indefinitely. They would leave it in there until they got damage on the cells and not feel it. They can tune it out that dramatically. That's how and why it can be used for pain control. That's one little experiment we'll do here today. I wanted to show you another one. I need a volunteer. Would you? No, you can stay seated. Do you mind doing this? Before we do this, I have to ask your permission and a question. I'm going to take you back to like when you were 5 years old. Is there any reason you can think of why you wouldn't want to mentally go back to 5 years old?
No.
I just want to make sure. Do you have any problem with 4 or 3 or 7 or 6? Okay.
No.
Oh, good. Okay, well, let me show you something. Sleep. Okay, wait a minute. This is called hypnotic age regression. You may recall I said one of the 4 pathways into hypnosis was regression. It turns out, when you get a good hypnotic subject, you can actually give them suggestions to go backwards in time. Now, you folks are teenagers. It's not going to be as dramatic for you, but I do this in front of groups that are 40, 50, 60, 70 years old. You get exactly the same result. Of course, it's going to be a little bit different for you because for you to go back 7 years, etc., is not as dramatic as someone who's 60 years old. But it doesn't matter. You can do this with a person any age. You'll get basically the same response. I'm going to count back from 5 to 1. As I count backwards, I want you to feel yourself going farther and farther and farther backwards in time. When I reach the number 1, you'll be 5 years old. In your mind, you're 5 years old. Absolutely, you are 5 years old when I reach number 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can sit up straight in the chair. Hey, how you doing? How old are you?
Hi.
What's your name? What's your name?
Jaden.
Do you go to school? Where do you go to school?
I don't know.
Well, let's go to your classroom. Do you remember what the classroom looks like?
It's big.
And what's your teacher's name?
I don't know.
Well, look at the person's face. It's a man or a woman. Name will pop into your mind.
Mr. Glomp.
Excellent. Are you sitting in chairs? Or sitting around a circle?
We're all sitting on like a carpet, like a rainbow carpet.
Look to the left of you and tell me the name of the person sitting to the left of you.
That's what's her name?
It'll pop right in your mind.
It's Sal. It's Sarah. It's Sarah. You're Sarah.
Sarah, look to the right of you. Tell me who's sitting to the right of you.
Melissa.
What's Melissa?
Melissa.
What's her last name?
Johnson.
Now, look at the person next to Melissa. Who's sitting there?
It's the other Sarah.
What's her last name?
Mariah.
Good. Don't have the time. We could go around the entire circle and we will get everybody's name, and if you go back and check, you'll find she's bringing the names back correctly. Have they taught you how to write your name yet? Good. Would you mind? Here's a piece of paper, and here is a Sharpie. Would you write your name for us, please? Thank you so much. Back to block letters. Hold this for just a second. Put your last name. If you have actual handwriting samples, if her mother saved samples of her handwriting when she was 5 years old, all of the idiosyncrasies come back. You know how some people put little circles above the I, or they make little twirls with the T or something like that? This will end up being exactly the way her handwriting was at 5 years old. 5 years old. Could I have the pen for a second? Beautiful. Sleep. Now, I'm going to count back from 5 down to 1. You're going to be 8 years old. Count of 5, you're 8 years old. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Up, straight in the chair. How old are you, ma'am?
8.
What's your name?
Jaden.
Jaden, do you go to school? Where do you go to school?
Crystal Lakes.
And what's your teacher's name?
Mrs. Robin.
Mrs. Rock, where do you sit in class?
Like right in the middle. Right in the middle.
And who is sitting to the left of you?
Brandy.
What's Brandy's last name?
LaFada.
And who's sitting to the right of you?
Janice.
What's Janice's last name?
I can't remember. Janice.
Well, ask her. If you ask her in your mind, she'll tell you.
It's Alyssa. Janice Alyssa.
Alyssa, right. She can reconstruct every name that she has sat next to in virtually any class up until her age here. And you can do this with 40, 50, 60, 70-year-old people. They go back and remember the teacher's name, the people that sat with them, etc. Would you do me a favor? Would you just write your name for me? Here's a pen. We don't have time to do this, but it'll change at 7, it'll change at 9, it'll change at 12, it'll change at 20. At my signature now is this. Just whatever you want. It changes with the age, and you can, again, go back and find actual handwriting samples, and they will change with the handwriting. Have they taught you cursive yet?
Kind of. I can't do it yet, though.
Would you do your best for me?
Okay.
It is remarkable, the information that you retain. This is hypnotic age regression, and sometimes it can be downright astounding. I'll be right back if you don't mind. How's the arm, Slick? Does it hurt? Can you go all day like that? Again, in terms of comfort level, where 1 is horribly uncomfortable and 10 is perfectly comfortable.
Probably like a 3. Like it's uncomfortable for sure.
Okay, it's uncomfortable. How's your arm feel? Hi, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. How's your arm feel? Still warm? Feels good? Nice and comfortable? On 1 to 10, if 10 was really comfortable and 1 was very uncomfortable, where would you be? 9? Okay. We don't have the time to do this. She can keep it in there all day. I'm telling you, within 20 minutes, this guy's going to pull it out of there. It's just not a comfortable thing to be in. 2 totally different perceptions. And why? Hypnosis, as I mentioned, has a wide variety of uses for pain control. There's a variety of ways you can do it. This is just one example of it. Any questions? Let's take a look at your cursive. How'd you do with the cursive?
Try again.
Well, you did good. But again, if you can go back and compare that sample, I have no idea. Well, I'll show you what her signature looks like today. Any questions about this? What's your phone number? Your parents' phone number.
253-820-3176.
Can you guys remember your parents' phone number at the age of 9? Clearly a different one than Florida. Can you remember the old phone numbers? See, again, you guys are teenagers. Imagine if you were 60 years old and they were telling you what their phone number was when they were 5 or 6 or 8 years old. It's the same exact response. Sleep. Yes, sir. All hypnosis is self-hypnosis. I'll explain that concept in a little bit while. Deeper and deeper, more and more relaxed. In a moment, I'm going to count backwards from 5 down to 1. When I reach number 1, you're going to be back to the present. You're going to be your perfect age, exactly the way you are. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. At the count of 5, wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 5. Sitting straight in the chair. Whoops. Excellent. Hey, how you doing, ma'am?
I'm good.
How old are you?
16.
16. And you know how to write your name, don't you? Would you write your name for me, please, if you don't mind? Yeah. There you go. Thank you. The last name, too, just if you don't mind. And again, if her mother keeps any samples of handwriting and you go back and look, you'll see what it looked like at 5. You'll see what it looked like if I bring her back to 4, it'll change. If I go to 3, she'll probably be doing nothing but giant block letters. It alters all the way up and throughout adulthood. This is muscle memory. This is you remembering things that you don't even realize you remember. Are there any questions about that? I'm sorry? Can I do it to your sister? Is this your sister? Yes. Well, what, the age regression? It takes a bit of time, and I know I'm working on a clock. Can it be done? Yes. My purpose today was to show that it could be done and to show the changes in handwriting, etc. But if she wanted to, it could be done. She'd rather not. I'm not doing it then. So, where's the 1 to 10 now? Has it gotten worse?
It's kind of numb.
If I asked you to hold it in there for a half hour or more, could you do you think it'd be so uncomfortable you'd eventually pull it?
Yeah, I'd probably get worried.
Okay, if I asked you to keep your hand in there for another 30 minutes, would you have any problem with that? Is it uncomfortable at all? The difference between a person that sees it as warm water in their mind and a person that obviously sees it for what it is. Again, I don't have the time to wait here for 30 minutes, but I guarantee he'd yank his arm out there. At some point, she would go on indefinitely. A person controlling the pain through the use of visualization. Thank you for volunteering. At the count of 5, wide awake, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to pull your hand out of there. Take a nice deep breath. Excellent. Now sleep and relax. And just let your arm warm up. And when your arm is back to room temperature and comfortable, open your eyes and let me know, okay? Stuck to the chair. Open your eyes and let me know. Now, question and answer time, guys. You're not going to just sit here and take all this without questioning it, are you? Have you ever seen anything like this before? You're seeing what your mind is theoretically capable of. Again, I chose deliberately people that are better than average subjects. Question, could I do that if I'm an average subject? Probably not today. But if through repeated sessions, if you learned how to master this, you would, like anything else, eventually get better and better at it. And yes, is it self-hypnosis? It's all self-hypnosis. I maintain I've never hypnotized anybody in my life. I have guided people into the state I have essentially suggested to them what they can experience. But if I told any of them to do something they didn't want to do, they would just shut me out or turn me off. It's like a chemistry book. You could buy a chemistry book and open it up and say, I'm going to learn chemistry or psychology, or I'm going to go to Miss Gilbert and she's going to teach it to me. It's the same book. One is much easier, much quicker. Somebody's guiding you through it. The other, you'd have to do it with trial and error and probably make a bunch of mistakes. And that's the only difference. So all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. Any other questions? Yes, sir. I'm sorry? I do it to myself all the time. Yeah, I clearly learned early on to be able to tune in and out of it when I wanted to. Yes, ma'am. You have a question? You do sometimes, not always, but you do sometimes get the blinking. And if you're asking me for an explanation as to why that happens, no one has one. They just will see it. I want to show you one other thing. How you guys doing? You guys doing okay? Do you two were buddies or you two were buddies? You know both of them, okay. Sleep all the way down, deep sleep, deep sleep, deep, then sleep all the way down, Her name again was? Ella. Ella, go deeper and deeper, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, deeper and deeper, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, deeper and deeper, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Ella, in a few moments I'm going to wake you up. When I reach number 5, you're going to open your eyes, you're going to be wide awake, but you're going to find for the next 10 minutes, everything I say is the absolute unvarnished truth. It is 100% correct. And you will defend that to your last breath. Anything I say is real, it's the truth, it's the way it is, and you will defend that with your last breath. How are you doing? Sleep, deep sleep, all the way down, deeper, more relaxed, deeper, more, all the way down, deeper and deeper. In a moment, I'm going to wake you up, and at the count of 5, when you wake up for the next 10 minutes, everything I say is totally wrong, completely backwards. Everything I say is absolutely, totally, and completely wrong, and you will defend to your last breath vigorously that what I'm saying is wrong, and you will back it up with all the science you can remember and find, and you will find that everything I'm saying is totally wrong for the next 10 minutes. Let that sink into your mind. Let that sink into your mind. At the count of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, waking up, 1, 2, 3, woo, wake up and respond. Round of applause for these two. Whoa. So, I have a couple things. We all have our opinions, right? Some wise person once said that you are entitled to your own opinion, but not to your own facts. Let's test that. I think the world is flat. I'm a flatliner. I think that there's this thing about the world being round is crazy. It's a flat world. All you got to do is look at a long line with a laser, and you can see it's flat as a board. The world is flat. What do you think?
Yeah, there's no science behind it being surface.
Yeah, but they've had, they go up with this. They go up with the capsules, the pictures. The Earthrise over the moon. Remember that was taken by Bill Anders. And remember all the pictures of satellites where it's just as round as it could possibly be.
That's all fake.
It's flat, right? What do you think?
No, it's round.
But you can take like a laser and shoot it for like 10 miles and it hits in the exact spot. There's no curvature to the Earth at all.
There's satellites, people have gone to the moon, seen the roundness of the Earth.
That was a lie. That was a lie. No, seriously. Man did not go to the moon. That's a government conspiracy. They never landed on the moon. It's BS. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree.
That they didn't go to the moon?
No.
How come they sent 6 launches up then?
They want us to think they're really cool. They're really cool.
What do you think?
Why would they lie to us? That doesn't make any sense. They're humans themselves. True. Why would they tell us the truth? They're one of us. They're human. There's no way. What are you talking about? Okay. So you think it's flat? Yes. Have you ever seen Google Earth? Have you seen the ground? It's literally flat. Oh yeah, this goes flat to you? Well, someone built stairs, but the ground is there.
The state of our country today, wouldn't you say? If you just sit back for one second, I've just got one thing that I think. I was raised in New Jersey. I went to Rutgers for my undergraduate, which was like 25 minutes from New York City. So I've been following Donald Trump since the 70s. I mean, since he first came on the scene. That man tells the truth every single time he opens his mouth. I've never heard him tell a lie.
Yeah, I mean, he's the greatest president of all time.
And, you know, this Russia thing, conspiracy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just...
Have you seen his Twitter?
No, I think he's telling the truth. I think the guy is not capable of lying.
Right, a politician's not capable of.
Oh, so now you think they're lying. 5 minutes ago you were like, it was the truth. Now they lie. Now they're liars. But before they were telling the truth. He's a crook. He's a businessman. He's a crook. He's a crook.
All right. Let's venturing into politics. You know, you don't talk politics and religion. So let's go back to more mundane and more, you know, fact-based matter. 2 + 2 = 4.
Obviously.
2 + 2 = 4.
No.
2 + 2 = 4.
No.
Well, you guys should argue about it. And that is the state of our country today. When you can argue, you can see it with your own eyes, and it makes no difference. That is when people get segmented and focused on one thing and one thing only. They'll argue about it all day.
It's not right, no. They could have, what if 4 was 5? How do you know? They could have just incorrectly named it back then. You don't know. Well, math was invented before I was born. I believe that I don't know. Oh, obviously.
Listen, guys, 10 minutes are up. Give them a round of applause. They were both excellent. You guys are out to say, how's your arm doing there, lady? All better? Want to go back and sit with your buddies over there? Thank you so much for volunteering. Let me feel it. Still cold, but it works. Give her a round of applause. Actually, she was outstanding. Everybody here okay? Who thinks they're not hypnotized? I need a skeptic. I need someone. Anybody? You all think you're hypnotized? Good guess. Sleep. Boom. I don't know why I got to do this with you, but I do. There you go. All right, deeper and deeper, more and more relaxed. Lise, I got to be running out of time, right? How much time do I have left? I got 15 minutes. We can use this last 15 minutes. Ah! Sorry. Every time she speaks, she snaps you out of it. Sisters. She must be the older sister, I'm just guessing. It always works like that. I'll tell you what. Focus on that sign so she's not listening to her sister. Take a nice deep breath. Breathe in deeply. Concentrate as you exhale. And away you go. Take your mind off the distraction, and down they go. That's what I'm doing with the gentleman when I have to yank on his arm. Consciously, he's tuning out when I say sleep and go down. As soon as I distract him, as soon as I pull his arm and startle him for a second, out he goes. Confusion, one of the pathways in hypnosis. 15 minutes left. Ask me some questions. Don't waste this time. You can't be buying all this without any kind of questions. Yes, ma'am. Yes, good question. If I just walked out the door and I left her at 3 years old, is she going to remain 3? No. And if I gave her a suggestion that she couldn't get up out of her chair, would she remain stuck to the chair forever? It varies from person to person. You get some people that are stuck for, just a few seconds, some people an hour or whatever, but they always can tear it apart. Now, if you repeatedly give them the suggestion, that's what hysterical paralysis is. If you do it over and over and over again, at some point you can make it so it lasts. It's the reinforcement. But no, doing a one-shot deal like that, she's not going to stay 3 forever. Someone had their hand up. Somebody did. Yes, sir. Sure. They will act. Here, I'll make it. His question was, could you suggest to a person that they're older? They will act as they think an older person should act. I'll do you one better. You can do hypnotic age regression. You can say you're 2 years old, you're 1 year old, you're 6 months old, and they'll start sucking your thumb and pulling. Then you can say you're going even farther back. And you want to know what 2 out of 100 say? I'm Bridie Murphy, and I lived in the 1700s. Remember I said in the 1950s there was a lot of interest? There was a book called The Search for Bridie Murphy by Maury Bernstein. He had some housewife in Arizona, and he just kept taking her back and back, and she pops up and says, I'm Bridie Murphy, I lived in the 1700s, and starts rattling off names, dates, times, and places. And people believed that she was the reincarnated self of this person, Bridie Murphy. It's not. It's confabulation. Remember, one side of the equation, this is confabulation. That's evidence for it being made up. And you can always trap them. Bridie Murphy was simple to trap. Go open a window for me. And she pulls a window. Yes, they didn't invent windows like that until the early 1900s. You know, put your coat on for me. And she's buttoning a coat. They didn't have buttons. They had hooks. So, yeah, it's yes. You can go in either direction. Sir. Can you teach them a skill? You can certainly, you know, as a byproduct of this is focused attention. You can certainly help them focus. It's most often used for test anxiety. It's called state-dependent learning. The person goes home, they're comfortable, music playing in the background, they learn their math, they get in front of the test, they're nervous, their blood pressure's gone up, they have trouble concentrating, the information is in there, they can't get it out. So you can form an image in their mind. Imagine you're back in your room, you're comfortable, you can hear the music playing, then they remember the stuff. See her, she couldn't remember it. So what I say, look at her face. Ask her, she'll tell you. You can focus in on it and bring it back. You've had your hand up for so long, and I apologize for being so rude. Yes, ma'am. I didn't hear you, I'm so sorry. That's what I'm saying. Hypnosis is not that much different than normal conscious behavior. It really is not that much different. They are certainly not asleep. They hear what's going on. They are hyper-focused on me. I will share with you an experiment. I can't do it. I just don't have enough time. I used to take the best subject in the group and say, listen to this, the snap of my finger. From now on, whenever you hear my finger and only my finger snap, you'll wake up. Wake the person up. Keep them asleep. I'm sorry. And then I ask people in the audience to start snapping their fingers. They don't wake up, they don't wake up. Then I get off the stage and I'll go to the middle of the aisle, snap my finger, they pop their head up. They can be that focused. You get a really good hypnotic subject. Would you raise your right arm? Excuse me, I did that wrong. Would you raise your right hand, sir? See, that was your hand and your arm, right? Ask one of these subjects, let's see. Eyes wide open at the count of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent. Sit up straight in the chair. Rest your arms there in your lap for me. Would you raise your hand, your right hand? Okay. You ask a super subject. They do this. It's scary. They are so literal. They take exactly what you say word for word. It's frightening when you see it. I mean, they kind of go to a totally different mental state. What other question? Yes, ma'am. Yeah, some of the subjects, what we did today is kind of contrived, but some of the subjects that do the hypnotic age regression, they'll start swinging their feet, their facial expression changes, the tone of their voice changes, they start talking like they were 3 or 4 years old. Now, if I heard your question correctly, when you wake them up, will they remember that? This is how it's used in forensics. Let's say a person cannot remember certain details of a crime, a license plate or a detail. If the person's a good subject, they would hypnotize them, go back to the event, imagine you're watching it on a movie screen. Oh, there's the license plate number, and there's the detail, and there's what the weapon looked like, etc. And then wake them up and ask them again, and they divulge even more information. They remember even more. Nobody really knows why that works like that. But in other words, you take them back to the event, they couldn't remember certain details, have them remember it under hypnosis, wake them up, and right after the hypnosis, ask them for even more, and somehow they go even more. It's related to what's called the Jenkins junk box theory of memory. When you create a memory, it's there, it's always there. Now, the more experience, the more junk you put on it, it might be hard to remember, but if you can wade through the junk, the memory's still there. So, depends on the subject. Anyone else? Sir? I have a number of audio recordings that I used to sell. I've converted them to MP3. One of them is self-hypnosis. It's 2 sides, 2 tracks. First track is what it is, how to use it. And the second track is designed for, my voice, for me to guide you into a hypnotic state. And then in the middle of it, it's like you give yourself whatever suggestions you want, and then you wake yourself up. I will send Lisa the link to that. It's entirely up to her as to whether she disseminates it or not, but I would be happy to give that to you. And the idea was teach you how to get into the state. Let me help you get into the state. And in the middle of it, you give yourself the suggestions. And you can certainly give yourself the suggestion that I can do this to myself in the future when I want and where I want. And that, by the way, is what you're about to see. If you ever watch the end of any of my YouTube videos, you're likely to see it end something like this. At the count of 5, eyes wide open, everybody wide awake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sit straight in the chair, wide awake. Sir, sorry to keep collapsing you like that. You can put your arm down. You are beautiful. Excellent. Would you get comfortable sitting up straight in the chair? I'm going to put you out for just 1 more minute, but what I got to do is unwind you. I got to make sure you don't walk out of here with any of the suggestions that I gave you while you're here, okay? Sleep. Oh, deep sleep all day. Deep, 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 deep. Excellent. Deeper, deeper, deeper. Stuck to the chair. Deeper, deeper, more and more relaxed. All the way down. Sleep, sleep, sleep. All the way down. Loosen limp and sleep. Deeper and deeper. Excellent. Now, I'm going to ask you all to take a nice deep breath. Nice deep breath. Go as deep as you possibly can. And listen very carefully. In a moment, I'm going to slowly count backwards from 5 to 1. As I count backwards, all the suggestions I gave to you while you were up here are going to be removed. In other words, there's no difference in temperature, nothing funny. You two don't argue about things. Everything is back to normal. All the suggestions I gave you are removed by the time I reach the number 1, 5. Keep going deeper, though. 4, deeper and deeper. 3, 2, and 1. All the way down now. Deeper and deeper. Excellent. All sleep. All the way down. Sleep, sleep, sleep. All the way deep, deep, excellent. Deep, deeper. Now, next thing I'm going to suggest to you is the most important thing I'm going to say to you all day. Please listen carefully. From this moment forward, you and you alone are in complete and total control of this state of mind. From this moment forward, you and you alone control this state of mind. You will be able to get yourselves back into this wonderful, relaxed state wherever you want and whenever you want, very easily and very quickly. In the future, if you want to return to this state of mind, all you have to do is look at a spot just like I had you do here, take a few slow, deep breaths just like I had you do here, and then start slowly counting backwards from 5 to 1 in your mind. As you count backwards, you'll feel your body responding and relaxing. By the time you reach the number 1, you're going to be right back where you are now, only deeper. And the best part is, you're going to be able to give yourself suggestions. And the suggestions that you give to yourself are every bit as powerful, if not more powerful, than any suggestion I could ever give to you. You completely and totally control this state of mind from this moment forward. Let that sink really deep into your mind. Really deep into your mind. And in a moment, I'm going to start counting forward from 1 to 5. When I count forward, you'll feel yourself waking up. Here's the good news. You're going to feel great, relaxed, refreshed, invigorated. In fact, you're going to feel better than you have felt in weeks. Totally full of focused and relaxed energy. You're going to feel fantastic and wonderful in every way at the count of 5 and be totally and completely wide awake. 1, arms and legs are beginning to wake up. Feel it, charging with energy. 2, your body is waking up. Waking, waking, waking. You're beginning to sit up straight in the chair. You feel fantastic. 3, wide awake, refreshed, relaxed, invigorated. You feel great, full of relaxed and focused energy. 4, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake. And 5, all of this applause is for these guys that were brave enough to come up here and do it. Now, let's just very, very, very quickly pick someone who I didn't pick on. I didn't pick on you at all. You got away kind of unscathed, didn't you? Yeah, okay, do me a favor. Pick a spot to look at, take a deep breath, and in your mind, just slowly count back from 5 to 1, okay? You can even try to keep your eyes open if you want, but just slowly count back from 5 to 1. Now, when you're ready, count forward from 1 up to 5, and you'll be wide awake at the count of 5. These folks all have the ability to do this to themselves now. Here's what's going to happen. If they were to go home today and spend a few minutes doing this a couple times, get the hang of it, and tomorrow and the next day, like learning to ride a bike, they would learn how to put themselves into this state for the rest of their lives. If they go home and don't do anything, and a week from now they say, I wonder if I could still do that, they probably will have forgotten everything. It's just like anything else. If you try to learn a bike and you're just starting to get the hang of it, and you walk away from it for a week, when you come back, you're back at zero, right? But when you learn it, if you learn it forever. So that's up to them. If they've got all the tools they need now, and I hope that answers your question about self-hypnosis, everybody can do this to themselves. I am out of time. This is the 19th time you guys have been an outstanding audience. I want to do a couple things. I want to recognize Miss Gilbert. Thank you so much for having me. She is a marvel. Again, give it up. These guys made it all happen. If you get up for them. When I get home late this evening or tomorrow, I will send those links to Miss Gilbert. It's entirely up to her what she does with those links, but she will have possession. And I'm also going to send her a link to a book I think you should all read, but I will send those to her, and she can disseminate them as she wishes. Thank you so much. You guys have been just great, and I'll see you next year probably. Good luck to all of you. Thanks. You're terrific. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. You feel great? How you doing? You guys are excellent. You're wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. How's your arm, kid? You okay? Great. Thank you very much. I didn't mean the yank on your arm like that. Oh, the money? I didn't mean to be mean. I'm sorry. How you doing? You okay? Big sisters. What would you do without them, huh? Thanks very much for coming up here, man. I appreciate it. Hi, I'm Anthony Galie, and I wanted to thank you for watching my video. And I did want to answer a question that I often get from people who see the video. I spent my career as a corporate hypnotist, working primarily with corporations and companies, speaking at conferences and conventions, and I often get inquiries from stage hypnotists or hypnotherapists as to whether I can teach them how to do what I did. And the fact of the matter is, I can. I have put together a program called the Corporate Hypnotist Masterclass. This is a full 2-day affair where in the first day, I will teach you how to put together a corporate presentation, how to do the hypnotic induction that I do that's very quick and very effective, and basically how to sell product at the end. How to put your program together is the first day. And the second day is how to market it. Once you have a corporate program, obviously you need to know who to call, what to say, how to put together a website, and the all-important demo tape. And I do that all in a full 2-day program. If you are a hypnotist or hypnotherapist and are interested in that program, I would urge you to go to the website, corporatehypnotistmasterclass.com. It'll give you the date of the next program, all of the details about it. There's a page there for testimonials. If you want to see what other hypnotists have to say about the program, it can all be found on the website. Now, this is not inexpensive. Please do not expect this is not a $100 affair. In fact, it's $5,000, but it is worth every penny. And I assure you, you will get your money's worth. I also get some inquiries from overseas, some people who simply could not make a trip across to Las Vegas or to be where we have the program here in the States. If that's the case, I do occasionally do private training, one-on-one over Zoom or Skype. Again, if you're a hypnotist or hypnotherapist and would like to learn how to do what I do in terms of corporate speaking, I can and will train you one-to-one on the corporate training with a video, Zoom, or Skype. It's a bit more expensive to do it that way because it takes much, much more of my time. But if you are interested, again, you'll find some information on the website, and you can contact me at goalsforyou@msn.com. The website will be up there. The email will be up there. Please feel free to call me. Finally, if any of you who see this would like to have me speak at your conference or a convention, come in and do a presentation for you, you can contact me again at goalsforyou@msn.com. And in that case, you'd like to go to my website, anthonygalie.com. Tells about what I speak, gives you some information, some demo clips you can look at, etc. And again, you can contact me at goalsforyou@msn.com if you'd like to bring me in as a corporate speaker. I just want to make a final comment. I get a lot of comments on the videos. I've posted over 100 of them, but by far the most common comment is fake, impossible, can't be real. These people are paid stooges. I just want to take a moment and assure you, everything you see on those videos is exactly the way it happened. It's absolutely real. I've never met any of those people, to the best of my knowledge, before. There's nothing fake about it. Hypnosis is amazing. It's fascinating, certainly interesting to watch. And being a corporate speaker could do a lot to increase your income if you are a stage hypnotist or a hypnotherapist. It can be a great adjunct or addition to what you're currently doing. And there are many people I know who want to transition out of stage hypnosis and do it full time. In any event, if you do want to learn how to do it, it is for hypnotists and hypnotherapists. If you want to hire me as a speaker, you can go to my website at anthonygalie.com. Hope that answered some of your questions. And again, let me thank you for watching my videos. I have, I guess, over 100 of them posted, and some of them are really quite interesting. Hope you have a good time viewing them. Thanks again.